Happy evening, everyone. Wonderful, wonderful to see all of you out there for this Happy Brain Miracle Masterclass. I would love to see all of you on camera on mode. That will be great. If you can all come on camera and with a broad beaming smile, we can radiate happiness onto each other. Thank you very much. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see you all out there. Wonderful people. Thanks a lot. And we are starting this Happy Brain Miracle Masterclass, and this would be continuing for 3 days. Thank you once again for all your wonderful, wonderful presence. And before we go further, I would love to know, is my audio coming across? Are you able to hear me clearly? Are you getting my picture as well on your screen? And if all is good, just write AG for all good. If you can type that on the chat box. Yeah, great. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thanks. I can see Nikita ji. I can see Siddharth, Siddharaju ji. I can see a lot many now flowing in fast. JG, and thanks for the response. And this was just a little practice. We would be going through this session with a lot of interaction. Of course, we'll take the help of the chat box, considering the fact that there'll be otherwise a lot of noise. So, of course, we'll have time when we'll interact with each other with our queries and questions. And having said that, before we proceed, I can see Premnath ji is saying unable to hear. Can you just check at your end? Because most of the people are getting it. If you can just check at your end and fix maybe some problem out there. Before we proceed further, can you just let me know which city you are from? If you can just write your name and city, that will be great to know which place you are from. You can just write that. I can see Mumbai. I can see Sioni, Jaipur, and Bangalore. And Mahima ji is from Bangalore. Chetan ji is from Kolhapur, Maharashtra. I can see Nikita ji from Bangalore. Neeraj ji from Mysore. Welcome. Surya ji from Karur. And Raipur, Hyderabad, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Chennai. It's now flowing fast and I'm unable to catch up with the speed. Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Bhubaneswar, and Sikandrabad. Lovely, lovely. Almost every part of the country is being represented out there. Warangal, Pune, and Madurai. Thane, wonderful. Great to have all your presence. And as we are proceeding through this 3 days, I'm sure we are going to learn a lot of things. Not just learning few things, it is more to apply and change few things within ourselves. That's what is our lookout. So thank you very much. Now, let me now share my screen so that we'll be on track. And can all of us, we take a snap? If you can come on camera, all of us, we can take us. Yeah, I can take few snaps of the presence of all of you. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see your picture out there. So let me share my screen. Let me share the screen so that we'll be on track. We'll not be deviating from the topic and we'll focusing on what we can do in the next 3 days. Once more, if all is good, if you can see my screen on your screen, that means the shared PPT. My picture and my audio is also coming across. All good? Yes. Again, Nikita ji and Siddharaju ji, all good, all good. Yeah. Audio and video and the screen shared. Fabulous. Fantastic. Lovely to see all of you out there. Responding all good. Thank you, Said ji. Thank you very much. Now, before we proceed further, let me just tell you a few things. First of all, again, welcome all of you formally onto this masterclass, which is Happy Brain Miracle Masterclass. And a few things I would just request you to do. One, please do have a notepad and a pen with you. Need to take a lot of notes so that you can apply those things onto yourself. Please do it right now. Get a paper or a notepad and write down things which I'm going to share. Let's make it a participative masterclass where you can put your questions and queries in the chat box and also write down few things which you can apply on yourself. Great. Second thing, you can have a glass of water with you so that you need not move to fetch a glass of water at some point in time if you need. Hydrate yourself. That's a good thing to do. And of course, your attention, presence, and complete, what I say, awareness of what we are going to discuss. When I say awareness, you get it with a feeling. You get it with a feeling. So let's all of us write here that we feel it. This workshop, this masterclass is not just to get some intellectual information or input. That's not the essence. We need to feel it and apply it. Just write feel. Feeling is very, very important. F-E-E-L. Let's all here write, let's feel it. Let's feel this workshop. 3 days of feeling it. Yeah, great. Wonderful. Lovely. And one more thing, when I request you to put something on the chat board, you have been amazing in your response. That's what gives me energy, a lot of love that you are radiating through these typings. That would give me the energy to proceed through all these 3 days. Lovely, lovely, great, wonderful. So let's begin with all these things that we shared. Let's begin. Happy Brain Miracle Masterclass is a 3 days masterclass. And before we even get to that, this question may be coming to mind. Why this masterclass? What are we going to do in this? What is the purpose of this? The purpose of this is millions and millions of people, they are struggling in these conditions. Stress, anxiety, worry, sleeplessness, guilt, shame, depression. What are these? These are the internal state of being which are snatching away our happiness. Many of us, we are struggling because of these conditions in the mind. And the purpose of this workshop is how to overcome these conditions. And what science has found out, it's based on science. So what science has found out is not necessarily these conditions are because of external things. It's not necessarily because of money or relationships or other things. Primarily, this is because of our inability to handle our mind. Or you can say it is the skill to train our mind to become happy. So all we are going to learn here is the skill to train our brain to become happy. Do you agree with this? That our happiness is dependent more on our mind than things outside. If you agree with this, just write A for agree. If you agree that our happiness, our condition of our life, more dependent on how we are using our mind. If you agree with this, just write agree. Yes, a lot of A's are flowing in. So I am so happy that you all are evolved enough to appreciate this. That's what science has found out. Science of happiness, that's been working in this field. And they have found out it is our ability to train our brain to become happy, which will make our quality of life, how we are living our life. Yeah. So with your wonderful responses, we will proceed further. There is one wonderful point which has been brought in by J. Mathurji, dependent on mind and soul. Great, great. We'll be having some discussion on this also on day 3. But in this workshop, primarily we are focusing on a mind, and we'll see how powerful is our mind to make ourselves happy. Great. Now moving further, this is what the default condition of our mind. That's what has been seen by the scientific research. By default, mind has a tendency to become anxious, tendency to become worried, having sorrow, anger, fear, restlessness, guilt, shame, and all these conditions. They are by default there, unless we are using some of the mechanism inside to make them this. And this is what we are going to learn. How to make this as the default condition. What is this? Calm mind, relaxed mind, organized, balanced, focused, joyful. Not just that, how to respond to situation so that we can be happy. That's what we are going to shift. That's how we are going to transit our mind from this state to that state. It's a transition that we are going to make. by learning few techniques, by learning few arts. Yeah. Now, I have been uttering this word, science of happiness. Many people ask me, is there actually a science called science of happiness? Is it such thing which is existing? Yes, it is existing. Science of happiness is an emerging field of science. That's why many people do not know. It's relatively young science. And in the last few decades, only about 2 to 3 decades, this has been coming up. And few of the primary areas which are supporting this science are positive psychology, a branch of psychology, cognitive neuroscience, again, a branch of neuroscience, behavioral economics, psychological aspects of economics, and Eastern meditative wisdom. When we say Eastern meditative wisdom, the meditative practices which have been practiced in this very land have been researched upon, and they found that this is so important for our happiness. That's what has also been taken into the field of science now. So these are the 4 major areas which have been contributing significantly. And all across the globe now, major universities like Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Toronto University, Canberra University, and so many universities, Cambridge and Oxford, all of them are now working, or they are having division of the science of happiness in their centers. In India, IIT Kharagpur is probably one of the most important centers of premier institutes where the Center of Science of Happiness is existing, and it's now going to other premier institutes as well now of late. And I had the opportunity to learn and to also practice the science of happiness at IIT Kharagpur because of some exposure. I'll be sharing that incident as well. With the knowledge of the science of happiness, we can now measure what are the elements which are making us happy and how to change them. That's precisely what we're going to do in this practice. Yeah. So what are those elements and how this can be changed? There is a question, is it neuro-linguistic programming? Some elements, but not the entire lot of things. Not the entire neuro-linguistic programming. This is more, as I mentioned, this is very scientific. Neuro-linguistic programming, there are some elements where research has not been done to a large extent in a scientific way, but definitely some elements of neuro-linguistic programming has been adopted and are part of this as well. Yeah. NLP. Yeah. So having said that, now, would you like to know a bit about me, how I came to this domain? To be honest, I did not have the education initially to get into the area of the science of happiness. I did my engineering and then did my MBA, then I joined a corporate, but then I came to this field, you can say by accident in a way. Would you like to know about that? How did it all happen? Just write yes if you want to. Yeah, great, I can see. Yeah. Lovely. Brilliant. So it all happened when I joined corporate. In 1993, I joined a large corporate institution. And I started my corporate journey in 1993 after completing my engineering. And then I did my MBA as well. And during this time, corporate journey was good for me, but there were certain problems. At the age of 28, I realized that I am having a lot of stress and anxiety, which led to high blood pressure. At the age of 28, I started taking blood pressure medicine. And within few days, I was also having high cholesterol, obesity, and a lot of problem. I will get up in the morning without energy, having a lot of uncertainty in mind. I don't know what will be done, what will happen to me. All these unusual things that happened to me. And for 15 years, although I was doing pretty well, pretty good in the corporate, but something was happening in the background. And that thing was corroding my internal system. And by 2008, there are many things which were disturbing me. One, I was having overweight. I was obese. That time, my weight was 93 kilograms and my height is about 5 feet 6 inches. Definitely, I was very fat and having a lot of internal disturbance, stress, and anxiety. I didn't know why this is happening. And in that year, 2008, everything changed. In 2008, in the month of October, me and my family, we had been to Jim Corbett National Park on a trip, on a pleasure trip. And during that time, on the first day itself, we had been to the jungle on foot. And there's a group of people, they call it nature walk. We had been to the jungle on foot. My wife and my second son, who was only 1.5 years old, they could not join because my son was very young, the younger one. And my elder son, he chose to join me. He was only 7 years old. And in a group, we entered into the jungle because of some communication gap, some error on my part. We lost track from the group. And my son was very young, so I could not catch up with the group. Somehow we missed out. And it was one of the most dangerous things that happened to us. I lost sense of direction because jungle, every direction seems so similar. I lost track of direction, could not come back to the resort we were staying, and proceeded in a direction and got to a place which was a dry river bed. It was a dry river bed. And that time something extremely scary happened. There was a tiger around and we were there lost in the jungle. Almost I was trembling. I was losing sense of my consciousness, almost like I was falling down because of the scary moment. And at that point in time, thankfully with grace, something happened to me. I calmed down. My mind got a little stable because of something. Maybe I got some sense that I need to stabilize myself. And that would be the best thing which will help me survive at this moment in time. And that calmness saved my life on that day. I could recall some of my knowledge about what happens when the tiger is there, because earlier I used to read a lot of Jim Corbett book and Kenneth Anderson book, where I knew, and when I recalled at that point in time, that you have to actually make your presence felt. Let the tiger know that you know it is out there. So you have to speak loudly and all those things that came to my mind. Because of that change of mindset, I got back my life. That moment I still remember. When I remember that, I am having goosebumps. I was feeling so guilty before that because my son was there, only 7 years. But that change in my mind saved my life. Somehow, by miraculously, we could connect to the resort. In the jungle itself, I could get some signal in the mobile phone. 2008, I still remember when there was a call which came from somewhere. I disconnected and connected to the resort, and they, at the nick of time, they could save us. And that moment changed my life. In 2008, when I came back to Delhi, I was there in New Delhi, posted in New Delhi that time. Two things that came to my mind. One, mind is something amazing. If you do handle the mind appropriately, you can do miracle in your life. That's one. And two, life is very unpredictable. So you have to find out your core interest and get in there. And from that point onwards, I chose to change my direction. I was in marketing, and then I chose to switch to human resource development. I became a coach, mentor, and a trainer. And during the next 12 years, I coached, trained more than 12,000 people in corporate, in the top leadership domain. And being part of the corporate in a corporate training institute, later on, I also became head of academics of that institute. And that thing changed my life. I got an opportunity to collaborate with IIT Kharagpur. And IIT Kharagpur, the happiness center, where I learned and then I passed on this message to many of the corporate in different parts of the country. And this alone was a changing thing. The changing thing was that moment in the Jim Corbett National Park. If you find it scary and interesting, just write S and I. If you can just write S and I, it was really scary. It was a moment. I still feel I got life back on that day. It was a moment because of my mind worked. Otherwise, probably I would have fallen down and everything would have been the end of, that would have been the end of life. But that thing changed. And then I realized how powerful is mind. Got an opportunity to collaborate with IIT Kharagpur. And thankfully, many good things happened after I collaborated with IIT Kharagpur. You can see the picture at the center, Dr. Samdu Chetri, the first executive director of the Gross National Happiness Center at Bhutan. If you know, Gross National Happiness Center in Bhutan is one of its kind in the entire globe. And Dr. Chetri is probably one of the most respected figure in the entire world on this field. And I had the opportunity to collaborate with him. We collaborated and I had a few workshops as well. In the first workshop itself, these were the words of Dr. Samdu Chetri, which are so precious to me. He was so, such a great man, and his words make me humble. He says that Sandip is a great teacher of happiness and mindfulness, and I witnessed his teaching at Netarhat. The first workshop was at Netarhat, a place in Jharkhand. And he mentioned that not only I was impressed, but learned from him. And I still feel these are his humility. And I learned a lot of things from Dr. Samlu Chetri. Still am in and connect with him. And with this learning, I could design and create what I'm going to share with you. With that 12 years of experience, now it is almost 14 years of experience with people, 14 years of learning many things in the domain of cognitive neuroscience and the science of happiness. I have created this whole thing. And now 2020, I chose to start my own organization, Academy of Unlimited Mind. Then we collaborated with LifeWell. And our mission is to spread this knowledge across the globe, and more than 1 million people should learn this and spread it further so that we can make people smile on this planet. So that's what is my journey. And with these, we are getting on to learn how to make this happen in reality in our life. I'm going to put all those things in a small capsule of 3 days. We will learn certain things and transform our life. Let me tell you again, this transform of life is with a condition. The condition is your commitment. If you are committed, if you are going to take these things, learn these things, and apply in your life, transformation is assured. But that application is in your hand. And let's all first say, I commit. Because I need committed people who actually take it and apply these things to their life so that they can transform their life. Please do write I commit or I see. I see. See for commit. Just write I see. Yeah, I commit or I see. I would love your commitment. Your commitment is come what may. You are committed to your happiness. If you are not taking charge of your happiness, nobody will take care about your happiness. And when you are happy, you can radiate happiness. You can make others happy. That's what we're going to learn. But your commitment is the most important thing. That's what would be my request, that please commit yourself to all the practices that you are going to learn. And we are going to shine with this commitment. Lovely. Great. So now we are going to understand what is the course, what are the things that we're going to learn in this course, right? I believe all of us, we are having the pen and the paper ready, the notepad ready. Please do write whatever we are seeing here. Day 1, we are going to learn about something called the human trap. That is the thing that we'll learn. Human trap is to identify, it's a diagnosis of ourselves. We will diagnose ourselves. What is it that is making our mind unhappy? Yeah, it's a diagnosis. That's what we'll do. So human trap is day 1. Day 2, we are going to learn about the miracle formula and about the mind. We'll understand what is the mind doing to us. We'll understand what are those elements of mind and how are they mediated by the brain. That's what we are going to look at tomorrow. Understand the mind, the components of mind, and how these things can be changed using the miracle formula. These are the 2 things we are going to learn tomorrow. And day after tomorrow is the day of implementation. We will implement few things, although implementation starts from today itself. We'll do certain things. As I said, it's a workshop where we will commit and we will do certain things as we're going through the course. Day 3, we are going to give you certain powerful tools. I call them superpowers. If you learn these superpowers, you can change your mind. You can become the master of your mind. You become the mom of your mind. That's the objective. Master of your mind. Become a mom of your life. Yeah. So let's all become that master of mind by learning those powerful techniques and applying them to ourselves so that we change the mind from the unhappy domain to the happy domain. That's what we'll do in this masterclass. Great. And as I said, it's not going to happen in a day. Neither it is going to take you years or months. If you are committed, you can do it in few weeks only. 2 to 3 weeks, you can see some changes. You can see some changes right in this workshop, but they will be sustainable when you are going for some time, practice them, master them. So I'm going to also share with you what we call the miracle formula roadmap. That's also I'm going to share on day 3. And day 3, we are also doing few more things. One, we have an advanced course, and some of you may choose to join us for more detailed, deeper and mentoring system. If you do that, you may be, of course, it's absolutely your choice, but we are going to share what exactly is that. That will take about 10 minutes time. And then we'll have interaction with you. I'm going to take your questions and interact with you. So that will take another 20-25 minutes. So today and tomorrow, duration of the session would be about 1 hour to 70 minutes. But third day, it will be about 90 minutes to 100 minutes or a little more. So this is what our journey is. And that's how we are going to proceed. Is it clear? Is this course outline clear? Today, we are going to learn about human trap. It's more about diagnosing what's the problem inside. Tomorrow, we are going to learn how to change that. What is the miracle formula and what is the mind? And day after tomorrow, we'll learn some powerful tools and techniques to apply them. If it is clear, just write CC. CC means crystal clear. This is very important that we are very clear about what we are going to learn, right? CC. Yes, crystal clear. Great, 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 great. Wonderful, wonderful. Lovely. Fantastic. So day 3, we are going to share the bonuses with you as well. So that will be done on during the live sessions. To do join in, so that we'll be sharing all the bonuses with you, and including the bonus, that's the book that we have promised. You'll be getting the book Happy Life Miracle Formula, the soft copy or the ebook you'll be receiving. Now, after that clarity of what we're going to do, I have a statement to put forward. Our responses vary. The same situation, the same problem, the same challenge in our life, two individuals, one person is so calm, composed, and easily handling that situation, whereas another person who is completely disturbed, agitated inside, torn from inside, and unable to respond clearly, worried and concerned and very uncertain, agitated, angry, afraid. All these things are happening in one person. The same situation, the other person is calm, composed, and handling it with a lot of maturity. Do you agree with this? Have you seen the same situation, two different persons behave in a very two different ways? Do you agree? Just write A for agree. Situation is the same problem. But problems are responded to by people differently. If you agree, yes, a lot of agreement. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for your quick response. Now, Science of Happiness actually tries to find out this. What are those elements which differentiate between two different persons? One person is so calm, composed, and the other person is so disturbed and internally so agitated. What is the elements which are differentiating? Now, in this course, we are going a step further. What I'm saying is, not even two different individuals, the same person having two different state of mind is responding to the situation differently. The same challenge, if you're having a heightened state of mind, you are happy or you are handling it with calm and with a state of composure. Whereas if you are internally, your state of mind is low, you are unable to handle. We will see that. Would you agree with this as well? Just say yes. Just say why if you agree with this. Same individual, not even two different person, the same individual with two different mind state would be having two different quality of life, two different expression, two different response. Yeah, you agree? The example I had just taken, that's my example in the Jim Corbett National Park. The same Sandip Dash with two different mindset. Under one state of mind, I was about to fall down, and that would have been the end of everything. The second state of mind, when I became calm, composed, I could respond to the situation and my life could be saved. And that is what we're going to learn. How to change that state of the mind. And this precisely what we are going to learn. And today, we will find out what are those things which are creating the disturbed state of mind. What are those things which are creating those disturbed state of mind? And today we are our own doctor. We will find out. Today, all of us here are going to find out what is that problem. And once you find out, once the diagnosis is appropriate, we'll find we can also come out of it. So today is the day of diagnosis. All of us just write D. We are the doctor and we will diagnose our problem. This program, this masterclass is actually an empowering masterclass. We will learn something and apply to ourselves. Yeah. Great. D is for diagnosis and we are the doctor. So we will now get into this diagnostic tool called the human trap. We'll understand what is that problem. What are the problems in the mind that's causing the problems inside? The worry, anxiety, stress, internal turbulence, agitation, all these things. We will find it out today. What are those things? Why this is happening? And there are only 6 elements. What we call the human trap. This is based on research of neuroscience and the science of happiness. We'll understand each one of these elements, and then we understand what is it that is causing the most problem in my mind and how to eliminate that. We'll discuss tomorrow and day after. Yeah. I believe all of us here are having that notepad and pen. Please do come on camera. I would urge all of you to please come on camera. I want to see all of you on camera, because let's take this as a serious thing. We will learn something, apply ourselves, and we'll come out of the problems and become happy in life. So please do come on camera. We'll do certain tasks as we proceed through. Do it as we see each other. I see how you're doing it. And please be attentive. Go through this with all your presence. Are we all ready? I believe all of us, we are ready to go to understand what is this human trap. Human trap is an acronym, HUMANE. Each of these elements, it refers to something. Let us understand it. As I said, this is based on cognitive neuroscience. A lot of research has gone into this, but we are going to learn based on our experience. With some examples, we'll understand this and we will change certain things tomorrow and day after. Yeah. Thank you for coming on camera. Thank you very much. And now let me again share the screen. Please take note of everything what I'm going to share now. Yes, the human trap. I believe all of us, we are ready to go for this. Just for my understanding, please write RTG, ready to go. Yeah, just write RTG. All of us, we are ready to go for this. Take note, take note. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Thank you, thank you. Brilliant. I'm really, really thankful to all of your energy. I'm getting a lot of energy as you're putting it on the chat box. I know that you are all with me. Yeah. First one, H. H stands for holding on trap. I will explain it. Do write on that page, write one, holding on trap. I'll explain what exactly holding on trap. Holding on trap is our mind's one quality of our mind to go back in the memory and remember something of the past and suffer because of that. A past chunk of memory which is causing pain in the present condition. Past memory causing pain in the present. So many of us, we are suffering because of a past memory. Somebody cheated me, somebody scolded me, somebody in the morning, my boss fired me, I lost a promotion last month, or I lost money in the stock market last year, many things. Somebody in my life who had come and is not there anymore. All these past memories are causing pain in the present, which we call holding on trap. Why holding on? Because we have hold on to that particular past memory. It can be a past memory. Also, there are certain other things, past belief. A past also we'll understand a subconscious pattern we hold on to. Typically, it's a past memory which is causing a lot of pain in the presence. In the present moment, we are suffering because of a past memory. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of a gentleman. His name is Tripathi. And this man, Tripathi, in one of my workshops during the tea break, he came with his eyes moist, almost he was crying, saying that, Sandip, I have been suffering from holding on trap for last 20 years. He was a very senior executive in a company. He was a vice president in a company, AVP, associate vice president in a company. He said, I have been suffering for last 20 years. And the reason being, I qualified in the civil services examination mains, appeared for the interview. And in that interview, I was doing exceedingly well. For 30 minutes, they almost gave me signals that I'm getting selected. In the last 5 minutes, I did something, a blunder. He had a kind of conflict, kind of argument with the chairman of the board, and he almost like used some abusive word. And that moment, the chairman of the board told him that we are just checking how calm and composed you are. Unfortunately, Mr. Tripathi, you are not selected because you are not having that mindset to handle people. So we are rejecting you. That's what he said on the interview itself. And that moment, Tripathi has been suffering for 20 years. He said, every morning I get up, I said, what did I do on that day? This is holding on trap. I asked Tripathi on that day, is it worth it carrying that memory for 20 years and suffering and spoiling your life? He said, I know, but I don't know how to come out of it. Later on, when Tripathi worked with me, I in fact mentored him. And then he said, I didn't know that this was so easy. Otherwise, I would not have suffered for 20 years. How to come out of it? Holding on trap is about letting go. How to let go. How to release that trap. We are holding on to something, how to release it. That's what we also will learn as we move further. Just write LG. LG, if you get what I'm saying. LG, it's let go. Let go. Wonderful. It's LG, letting go of that trap. What is the trap? It is holding on trap. We have to let go, otherwise we'll suffer. Great. Let go. Yeah. So this letting go is what we learn. It's called holding on trap. Right? Wonderful. Brilliant. Lovely to see all your fabulous response out there. What we are doing, we are holding on to past memory and suffering in the present. This is again a network in the brain which is causing this. This network we have to dismantle. This structure we have to dismantle in a way that we'll come out of it. That is what we call letting go of the past memory, which is making us suffer. I call it PDP. PDP is pain due to past. If you understood this, please do write it. Please do write it. Holding on trap is pain due to past. Write it in your note. PDP, pain due to past. Yeah. A pain due to the past memory, past conditioning, what we call the subconscious programming, which is there and this is running and making us suffer. Past beliefs. So it is pain due to the past. Great, great, great. Now, going to the next one. H, then U. U for uncertainty trap. Uncertainty trap. What is this? Uncertainty trap is kind of a mirror image of the holding on trap. Holding on trap is pain due to the past. I remember something from the past and bring it to the present, and I am suffering from that in the present moment. Now, uncertainty trap is the reverse. It is projecting a horrible future, projecting a painful future, saying that, oh my God, tomorrow there is a presentation and I will fail in that. Tomorrow I have got a medical checkup, I'll have something wrong in my medical checkup. What will happen if I lose my job? What will happen if I do not do well in the examination, in the interview? What will happen if I have disease or if I die? In the last 2 years, I have been working with many people, especially during the Corona time. And this uncertainty trap is the one which probably is the most predominant trap in the last few years, because people lost their life. People had disease. People had lost their job. Uncertainty trap is a projected situation which is making us suffer in the present moment. So what is this? Pain due to future. Pain due to future. It's PDF. And many of us, we are having this. Morning, get up and suffer from that. It is PDF. If you understand this, right? PDF. If you understood what I am meaning by this. Uncertainty trap, again, a brain network which is projecting. We have the ability to project. What we are projecting? Mostly negative things, so that we are suffering in the present. So, pain due to future. Pain is now, I am suffering because projecting a painful future. Again, unless we come out of this, many of us, we are actually making the future horrible by doing this. We are creating a painful future by doing this. Because by that, we are also compromising our immune system. Our immunity is being compromised. Our confidence is compromised. Our mindset is compromised. Our confidence is going low. The moment I think that I will do bad in the examination, I am likely to do bad in the examination because my mind will not work properly to read at this present moment. Do you agree? Do you agree? If we are going for the future pain, we are making our future miserable. We are creating a miserable future. Just right, creating CMF, creating miserable future. This is what creates a miserable future. If we are not taking charge of this, we are making our life miserable. We are creating that future by projecting it. Whatever you focus on, your energy goes there. If you're focusing on negative things, your energy will manifest negative things. If you focus on positive things, your energy, your time, your efforts, your mind will manifest positive things. Unfortunately, many of us, we are manifesting negative things, and we have to learn to design positive things for future by changing certain things, which you'll learn as you proceed in this masterclass. On day 3, we'll learn some fabulous techniques. I call them superpowers. We'll learn those superpowers. So uncertainty trap, as you rightly said, PDF, pain due to future, and we create a miserable future by that. Next one is called M, stands for me and my relationship trap. This is about our relationship in the society. People ask me, relationship, and you are talking about neural networks? Yes, absolutely. Our neural networks have got some propensity, some organization about our relationship. We may suffer in our relationship, or we may flourish in our relationship. When I say we suffer in our relationship, that's a trap. And that trap we will learn. What is that trap? In relationship, we suffer in 3 areas, only in 3 domains, 3 dimensions. 3 dimensions where we suffer. And these 3 dimensions are: 1, we suffer in loving relationships. What is this loving relationship suffering? We love our child and we suffer also in that relationship. The child doesn't obey, child he replies back or doesn't do well in the examination, his behavior is not acceptable, and we are suffering in that. We suffer because we love our spouse. A lot of expectation and we are suffering. We suffer because we love some of our friends, and then in that loving relationship we also will suffer. In fact, this is one of the major suffering I've seen. Many people, they suffer in loving relationship. So one suffering is in loving relationship. We love people and then we suffer in that loving relationship. Then we suffer in hateful relationships. Suffer in hateful relationship. Boss, arrogant boss, control freak boss, in-laws. There is hatred between people, enemies, some competitor. We have hatred for some people and we suffer. I'll give an example. One of our community members, Sanjay, he was suffering like hell because of his boss. His boss was an arrogant, kind of a narcissist, control freak fellow, and he would every day abuse Sanjay. Sanjay would go to office and meetings in his cabin. He would call and just blast him left, right, and center. And Sanjay was under depression. Every morning he will get up with a scare that he is going to be abused in the office by the boss. Nagging and control freak, narcissist boss. Now, because of that, he was suffering like hell. It was a hateful relationship. He also confided when we were talking. He said, I also prayed that this fellow, the boss, he should die. He should get transferred out. He should suffer. And in that prayer also he was suffering. Hatred. We hate some people and suffer in that. In loving relationship, we never pray that our child should suffer. Even when our child suffer, we suffer more. So in the suffering of the child or in our spouse or family member, we suffer, but we are also suffering in that relationship. We pray for good, but still we suffer many times. In the hateful relationship, we see that we are suffering because of the abuse of the person, and that leads to our suffering. So this is H. Hateful relationship, we suffer. There is a third part also, we call it lost relationship. We lose some of the members of our family, or somebody has passed away, or there is a breakup. Also, I see many people, elderly people, their children, they've gone abroad, or they're working at a distant place. No time for the parents. These parents are also suffering. There is a sense of loss of a relationship. So in relationships, we suffer in 3 areas. Suffering in loving relationships, suffering in hateful relationships, and suffering in lost relationships. Again, if we handle our mind appropriately, we can come out of these. If you understood this, just write LHL. LHL stands for loving, hateful, and lost relationship. If you appreciate what I'm sharing with you, please take note of all these things. Suffering in 3 dimensions, loving relationship, lost relationships, and hateful relationship. We call it LHL, loving, hateful, and lost relationships. Wonderful. Yeah. Now moving on to the next one. So far, is it making sense? Are you getting some value here? Just write value. This is valuable for you. Because this we need to understand to diagnose. After this, we'll give you a diagnostic sheet and we'll do some certain things so that you can find out where is the essence, where is that element of suffering in you. Wonderful, value. Thank you. Thank you very much for your wonderful responses. Brilliant. Now moving on to the next one. Next one is called autonomy trap. What is this? Let's understand this. Autonomy is freedom. And in today's era, we do not have freedom. When I say I don't have freedom, there is a lot of pressure outside. Responsibilities are there and so much of overwhelming responsibilities that I do not have time for myself. I go to office, work for hours together, and then I come back not knowing what I did. And then I struggle inside. A lot of stress, multitasking, responsibility in the family, responsibility in the office, responsibility in business. So many things that I do not have time for myself, my hobbies, my family, and lot many things are being snatched away. In fact, unfortunately, many people, they say, I feel like a slave. I feel like a slave. I'm doing job as if only I'm doing the job for having my life, to just lead my life, but I don't want what I do. I don't love what I do. Unfortunately, so many people are doing slavery in their mind. Do you agree with this? We are kind of a slave in our mind. Just write SIM, slave in the mind. That sense of slavery is what autonomy says. Unless we change in the mind itself, we cannot have that sense of freedom. Unless we change that, it's not going to change. And that we can do. That we can definitely do. So, do you see, are we also suffering? Let me get some response from your side. In a scale of 1 to 10, what will be your autonomy trap? How much? No time for self, all the time running, and suddenly we find life has gone. So much of time has gone because I have been running after these things. Yeah, 7, 10, 8, 4, 9. So many of us, yes. In modern era, unfortunately, we are doing so many things, but we don't like them. We don't love them. Let me tell you, this is again not something which is outside. Yes, outside is there, but we'll learn certain powerful techniques where in the mind, at least, we are free. We are coming out of that autonomy trap and we feel free when we're doing certain things. And that will make us feel so good, make us feel happy as well. Yeah, brilliant. Lovely to see all your responses. So autonomy trap is because of our responsibilities, because of our job, because of people who are homemakers, who are housewives or house husbands. They are also severely strained. So much of stress. In today's era, stress is primarily because of this. So much of deadline, responsibility, traffic jam, all the things where we feel helpless, no control, no freedom to choose what I want to do. That's what autonomy trap is. Great. Moving on. Next one is, so what we have learned so far, just a quick recap. First, we learned holding on trap. Just look at your notepad. Holding on trap, where we hold on to past memory. Uncertainty trap, presenting a future which is negative. Me and my relationship trap, suffering in loving relationships, suffering in hateful relationships, and suffering in lost relationships. And now autonomy trap. No time for self. I don't like what I do. I don't love what I'm doing right now. And that's a trap. My mind is suffering, feeling like a slave. Yeah. So this is autonomy trap. Next one, call it name, fame, status trap. Name, fame, status trap. N stands for that. And I will explain what is this. I also call it identity trap. And this is one of the most important traps. If we can handle this, we can handle many other things. This is about my status in the society. If somebody criticizes me, I feel so helpless, so bad inside, so much of anger inside. Yeah. Why? Because my identity is threatened. My name, my fame, my status is threatened. Call it status or identity trap or name, fame, status, identity trap. Let me give you a horrible example. I'm saying horrible example because this is a very pathetic example, but this will help you understand what is this. Many times on news channels, on newspaper, you'll find reports, news that somebody exceptional has committed suicide in a premier institute like IIT, IIM, Indian Institute of Sciences. So unfortunate, such a brilliant fellow. Why has he or she committed suicide? Let's look at that. Let's understand what exactly is happening in the background. This child, right from the beginning, right from the childhood, has been branded as somebody exceptional, brilliant, bright mind, amazing brain. Everyone, parents, teacher, friends, all the neighbors would say, look at the child, how brilliant is he? This has been the identity. She has been doing exceedingly well, then cracking one of the toughest examination, and then gets into a top institution. And suddenly, he or she finds that everyone is alike, everyone is similar. There is no exceptional status, no brilliant status, no amazing brain status. And then sometimes the professor would come and say that you are a horrible fellow. You don't have a brain. You're such a dumb fellow. Now look what has happened. The identity of an exceptional person, brilliant mind, has been crushed. This mind is dying. This identity is dying. And this death of the identity, in fact, neurologically, if you look at the brain also, imminent death signal of an identity is flashed out. I have visited so many campuses. I've seen people who are depressed because of these things, because their identity is challenged now. No more they are having that exceptional identity. So many of them are suffering because of this. This is what we call the identity. Recall your incidents when you are criticized. In top executive programs, I always tell the leaders, you should not affect the identity of your subordinate, then you are losing them. At least you are losing their mind. That's what we need the most in any organization. If you're affecting that identity, you are losing their mind. So the organization will not get the advantage of that mind, that brain. If you understood this just right, identity is paramount. Paramount means most important. IIP. If you understood this just right, IIP. If you can handle this identity, we can find ourselves happy most of the time. What is this? This we will understand more tomorrow. What is this identity? What are the components of the identity which we need to handle effectively? And this can actually change so many things inside. And we will feel happier even there is an adverse situation outside. So many people I've seen people, they don't feel confident. They feel low, small. In a social gathering, they would feel very low and small, no confidence because of this. And let me assure you, if you work on the techniques that we're going to share, easily we can overcome these conditions. Yeah. Great. Now coming to the final trap, we call it the equality unfairness trap. Equality, unfairness trap. Equality and unfairness trap. What is this? Injustice happening to me. All the time we see injustice happening to me, and that is causing a lot of turmoil inside. I slogged the entire year. Somebody else got the promotion because he's close to the boss or relative of a boss. I tried so hard, but somebody else got the job because he's copied or he used some connections. All these are injustice happening in our life. Sometimes somebody cheated me and took away all my money or what was my right. Somebody else has taken it away. All these injustice, they make us suffer in our life. So injustice is what, again, in the brain, there are few networks which always try to judge me with the rest of the people out there, and that judgment make me suffer. I remember my example, few years ago, I was standing in a queue to book some tickets. And that queue was not moving even a couple of feet in the last 15 minutes or so. I was just thinking why it is not moving. Suddenly, I found a person, apparently very, very powerful guy with 2 bodyguards. And he chose not to be in the queue. He just bypassed the queue, went to the ticket counter and got the ticket and went away. I was fuming inside, boiling inside. What nonsense. We are struggling in the queue, and this fellow had chosen not to be in the queue and go to the queue, ticket counter and get the tickets. Not just me, maybe everyone was struggling, but nobody had the gut to tell this to the person. Then quickly I realized, what am I doing? Already one damage has been done because he has bypassed the queue. I'm now damaging myself by boiling inside. He's not getting hurt by that. I'm getting hurt. Then I used a very interesting technique. I switched my mind saying that, let's see, sometimes I also get some advantage because I know somebody in some office. Get little advantage. That time I never say this is injustice. That time I say, oh, I'm so fortunate. I know that person in the office. So I got my driving license or got something advantage, small advantage quickly compared to others. But now when I'm at the receiving end, I'm saying injustice, injustice, injustice. Yeah, that was a small hack to help me come out of that problem. But let me tell you, in some point in life, injustice can really cause a lot of internal turbulence. A lot of challenge that may come to our mind when we are the suffering end and somebody else got the advantage. Jealousy is one of the symptoms of this. Feeling jealous about others. I deserved it, but somebody else got it. Yeah. If you understood this and other traps, just write HUMANE. If you understood all the traps which are written over here, just write HUMANE if you understood these traps. And right now, please do this. Please, let's do this right now. In your notebook, write HUMANE as it is written over here. HUMANE in a vertical column. And then rate yourself in that. Rate yourself. We'll take just 60 seconds to do that. In your notebook, just do this. In your notebook, just do this. HUMANE, you can write out there. And then next to that, in a scale of 1 to 10, write down which trap, what is your score. 10 is you are suffering most because of that. 1 is least suffering. If you're not having any suffering in that trap, give it 1 or give it whatever in the scale of 1 to 10. No need to put it in the chat box. You can just write that in the notebook. Write HUMANE in a vertical column and then put that score. You can take a screenshot of this particular screen so that you can remember this as well. Its detail is given out there. Each of the traps and how to score them. If you have done it, just write D. D for done. D. I can see a lot of D coming in, Great. Wonderful. Now do one more thing. Take a photo of that. Take a photo of that place, that paper where you have done this. Use your mobile to take a photo of that, yeah? I believe all of you have taken. Now we are going to do one more very, very important technique. This technique, please be present. I'll give you 2 minutes to do this technique with me on this call. But before going there, let me tell you what is our journey. Our journey is to manifest our happiest version by changing, by removing these human traps, overcoming these human traps. That's the journey. That's what we are going to do in this. Today, we will take the first step. And as I said, commitment is the most important thing. If you are not committing to yourself, nobody else can help you. If you are committed to yourself, whatever may be the challenge, it may be stress, it may be anxiety, it may be worry, it may be depressive feelings, it may be insecurity, low confidence, whatever may be the challenge of the mind, you can come out of it. If you're committed and learn the techniques that I'm going to share with you, you can do it. There are many people who have even come out of medical conditions because they were very committed. Depression, people with OCDs, obsessive compulsive disorder, bipolar, so many medical conditions people could come out. So small things easily you can come out of. If you are committed, you can come out of them. Using these techniques, so many people have transformed their life. My sincere request is, please be committed and do this as we are doing it. Lovely. Now we will go for a technique. But before that, let me tell you one more thing. In every session, we are going to do some tasks. Like one we have already done. You have rated yourself and taken a snapshot. If you are doing all the tasks, if you are completing all the tasks we are doing and posting it in the WhatsApp group, I'm going to give you a special gift. Are you interested for gifts? Just write G for gift. Very, very interesting, very wonderful gift you'll get. Just write G if you want gifts. Yeah, lovely. Lovely gift. Yeah. And the gift is this. For those who are completing all the tasks given on all the days, you are going to get a copy of my first book. You are anyway getting one book, but you'll get the second book if you are completing all the tasks on all the days. I want to motivate you to do this because I want you to commit to yourself. And let me tell you, the biggest gift is your transformation. And along with that, this book will be given to you for your motivation. Please do it, and you can see the change in yourself. And I'm going to give you this book if you are completing all the tasks, all the days. And today, the second task is this. Yeah. And for this, we will take another, as I said, 70 to 72 minutes we'll take today. We will take about 5 minutes now, 3 to 5 minutes. All of you, can you do this? Just take 30 seconds, go and get a ball and a matchbox. Ball is a ceramic ball, maybe a crystal glass ball or a ceramic ball, little big. If you can go and get it right now. All of us, let's come on camera and do it right now. If you can, please go and get a ball. Please get a ball. This is a powerful exercise. You'll find how powerful is this once you do it. All of us, let's commit. Commitment is the essence. As I said, commitment is the winner. If I commit, I will win. There is absolutely no doubt. Please go and get a ball, a ceramic glass ball. Yeah, wonderful. I can see some of the people, some of you are there already bringing that. Yeah, you can all show me on the screen as well. You have got the ball with you, a matchbox as well. Wonderful, great. Lovely. All of us, let's come on camera. Let us make the best utilization of this time. Let's do it right now. Yeah. Now, after you have got the ball, please put it there in front of you. Get the matchbox also ready. And we will take about 2 minutes to write down something on the piece of paper. Take a piece of paper. Maybe you can tear one piece of paper from the notepad, or you can get a paper from somewhere. Take a pen and write down these things. Please do write down this. Yeah. You need to write down the present problem that you are suffering. It should not be very elaborate, just in 2-3 sentences. Write them down, just reminding that these are the problems, and you can in the bracket write the trap as well. If some past memory is hurting you, like Tripathi was suffering because IAS examination he could not crack interview. So that can be one sentence, and in the bracket you can write H. Similarly, whatever problem that you are suffering at this point in time, don't find new sufferings. Whatever that is troubling you at this point in time, write that in 2-3 sentences. Please do write that with all sincerity. Write that down, whatever that is troubling you, maybe in few bullet points or in one small paragraph of 2-3 sentences. Write that down. Will take about 60 seconds. I believe all of you are writing. I can see. Yeah, please do write it. Yeah. Now, once you have done it, again, just mention D. If sufficient number of Ds are there, I'll go to the next step. Yeah, I can see Sajji, Satyapal ji, Sachi ji, Hari ji, Nikita ji. Yeah. Great, 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 great. Wonderful. I think a lot many people have already completed it. Next step is that paper, put inside that bowl that you have bought. Just put inside the bowl which you have just brought right now. Take the matchbox and lit up and burn that paper. Take all precaution. Just ensure that the fan is not there, so it's not going to fly inside the room. And with all safety precaution, just lit up the match and burn that paper. And while that paper is burning, just do it. And when the paper is burning, look at that burning flame and feel it. Feel that I have destroyed my sufferings today. Feeling is important here. Sit straight, put your palms on your lap, look at that flame, and in your mind, just tell to yourself, I have destroyed my sufferings today. And feel that freedom from suffering. Look at that flame as it is burning and feel inside that I have destroyed my sufferings today. I do it very carefully. If you are driving or if you are in office or somewhere which you cannot do, please do it after you come back. And most important part is when you are observing that flame with a lot of intensity, making your body feel, mark my words, making your body feel that you are now getting freedom from that suffering, telling yourself, I have destroyed my sufferings today. Look at that flame and tell to yourself and feel in every cell of your body, you can feel it. I have destroyed my sufferings today. I'll explain the science behind the entire process on day 3. And this would be something which you learn why this works magically. Now you can take a snap of this burning paper as well. Take a snap of it. Feel again, while taking the snap, look at that photo and say that, yes, I have destroyed my sufferings today. Feel that, feel that. All of us, why not we are on camera? Please do come on cam. Yeah. Many of you are hiding behind the camera. Let's all come and celebrate this moment of destruction of our sufferings. Yeah. Lovely, lovely to see all of you camera on. Do it. And again, continue with that feeling. Yes, I have destroyed the sufferings today. Now, having done that, take a snap of this as well, and you can put it in the WhatsApp group, and we will understand this, and this will extrapolate this technique. When I'll explain the science behind this on day 3, you will find the power of this, and you can create your own techniques using that formula, that scientific insight. Right? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Already Said Ji is mentioning feeling lighter. How did it feel? If you can just mention. Some of you who have done it, how did it feel after you completed and you felt that freedom from those sufferings? Yeah, I've taken the first step. Gautam Ji is mentioning that. I felt like taking the first step. Lifting of weight from my soul. Wonderful, wonderful. Refreshed, good. Goosebumps. Peace, cool. All worries burnt. Surya Ji, wonderful. Cool, Chetan Ji. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Refreshed, peaceful. Wonderful, wonderful. So, happy, blissful, confidence, mind relax. Felt scared of fire. Okay. Those of you who are having that fear of fire, do one more thing. Or if you're in a place where fire is not a possibility, you can tear it up to smallest of pieces and put it inside a flowing water stream so that it will flush away. Yeah. Lovely. And there is one more question, direct message. Again, it will come back after some time. No worries. For the time being, we are now going to the presence mode of presence at this moment. So we are saying at this moment, I have destroyed my sufferings. Then we'll see how we can make this a condition forever. This is a technique, temporary, of course, but we'll see how to make it permanent as we move further. Yeah. So great. Before we conclude the session today, thank you very much for being participative, for being completely with me, with all your responses, with all your activities, and being there. Before we conclude, would you like to have the recording of the session which we had today? Would you like to have the recording of the session? Because I know some of the concepts would be little novel, little new for you. Just write yes. Yeah, sure. We'll be sharing the recording. Please go through that recording. We'll be sharing a link, a recording of a link of the YouTube link. Please do go through that and revise it. It's important that you understand every bit of it so that we can take off tomorrow. And my sincere request is please also subscribe to the recording as well, to that channel as well, because you'll be getting a lot of input in that very channel. That YouTube channel, you can click on the link and subscribe to the channel so that you can get further things that we are doing in that channel. Lot many inputs have been given there. Lot many powerful practices are already existing in that channel. Please go through them and you'll find a lot of refreshing insight and input from those videos. Yeah. It will be shared in the WhatsApp group itself. Yeah. So having said that, a quick one word, if you can mention, quick one word about how was the session? How was the session? And great session, amazing, interesting insight, excellent, super. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for all your wonderful words of appreciation. Thank you very much. My sincere gratitude to all of you. And before we conclude, just for a moment, just come back to our mind and pray for the entire humanity, for their happiness and well-being. There are a lot of sufferings happening all across the globe. For a moment, let's pray for every human being, every creature on this planet, everyone in this universe, for their happiness and well-being. Let's pray for that and pray for each other here who are present in this very session. Thank you very much for being part of this. My sincere gratitude and love to all of you. Let's pray for each other and make our life beautiful and happy. A community goes and grows. A community, when all of us, we pray for each other, we say that, yes, we are going to be happy. Nobody can stop us. Thank you very much for being part of this journey. Thank you. Take care. God bless all of us. And again, tomorrow, we are going to meet at 7:30 and make a new journey, continue this journey and make this life beautiful. Thank you and God bless.